What a nice Sunday morning this is. I'm setting off from a Welsh town called Dolwyddelan, which is quite near to another relatively large town called Coed. Not quite sure how you say it. I really like this little town and this valley, which is called the Lledr Valley, which is where I'm walking for the next couple of days with a wild camp tonight. This is my introduction, and I'll conclude my little introduction with the view that you get from Dolwyddelan to Moel Siabod, which is not actually where I'm going today, but it kind of sets the scene. This is the head of the Lledr Valley. There's not much here, just a few farmhouses and dwellings. And that's where I'm going, up onto those hills for tonight. So this is what you see right at the end of the valley when you prepare to climb up. That's Moel Siabod, which is not where I'm going. That craggy little hill has got a name, but I can't remember what it is. I don't often do because Welsh is quite difficult. And this amphitheatre over here is where I'm actually going. It's very tempting. I believe there's a lot of lakes at the top of it, and I'll be pitching and sleeping beside one of them and enjoying the views from the rest. Doesn't seem like I've done very much, but I have, because I've been walking for about 3 hours, which makes it about halfway maybe, although it's difficult to assess because I've not actually been up onto the next section before, so I really don't know how long it will take me to get across it and reach a place for a pitch. And my wild, and my wild camp for tonight. It's a great area, and there's no one here. This is one of the lovely aspects of this part of Wales. I've been here once before up on these hills, and it was the same story. I didn't see anyone. Today there will be hundreds of people on Snowdonia, probably quite a few on Moel Siabod as well. And they are the most sort of finely sculpted, distinct mountains around here. There's no doubt about it, but if you've done them both several times, as I have, quite a few times, it kind of loses the attraction after a while, and you seek more peaceful places and more solitude, where the aesthetic attractions are also different, because the hill shapes are not so distinct and sculpted, but the colours and the details are equally as beautiful. It's just different. That's the thing, it's different. So just relaxing with a cheese and salad sandwich for my lunch. Overdue lunch, as they often are in the hills. And then I set off for the final section when I've finished. The sun's come out. Over there it's still in shade, but these hillsides are now illuminated. Snowdon still in shade. Cribgoch still in shade. That ridge there is Cribgoch. Looking back to Siabod again, and those slopes below it down to the right where I've come from, they take you back down to Dolwyddelan. Now here, unless I want to waste an excessive amount of time, there's only one thing for it, and that's the good thing about sandals. I could wade through in the sandals actually, but I've discovered that when I do that with these, they then subsequently chafe. So, you know, the theory is it doesn't matter if they get wet, but the reality is it does. I don't know how deep this is. That is seriously deep. Wait a minute. This is not a joke, because I'm carrying electrical equipment and oh, no. It feels quite nice. It's sort of, it's cool. The day's not. Oh, no, this is ridiculous. Hold on. I try some mud. Nope. It feels quite nice, but alright, I'm taking the risk. I'm down to my knee. Yeah. Expert hill walking. So there's me undergoing Scott of the Antarctic labours through heather and bilberries up a steep, fairly steep hillside, and actually there was a perfectly serviceable path which I've now recovered. But on a other point of interest, other than just... I'm just going to wait for this wind. Other point of interest, when you do that, certainly when I do that, by which I mean go off route, I do it all the time. It's not deliberate. Except where I want to explore a particular little place for photographic and videographic reasons. I'll say that again because I think the wind probably ruined it. I go off route all the time and it's usually not deliberate, but I do deliberately do it sometimes to explore a little place for photographic or videographic reasons, and whether you do it deliberately or whether it's by accident, as that was, it's just a little tip that you often find particularly interesting viewpoints and outlooks which you probably haven't seen before in any of the books or on the internet or anywhere else, because they're off route, and most people don't do that. So, well, yeah, I got a section of footage there which I'm quite pleased with. So, c'est la vie. And here behind me is Snowdon again. It is a very beautiful mountain, but it is spoilt, unfortunately. Firstly, by the railway, which carries hundreds of people up there. Secondly, by the hydroelectric destruction which has been wreaked on it. And thirdly, by the cafe at the top. So I won't even speak of that because right now you can't see it. Right now you can just enjoy the sculptural beauty of the thing, of Snowdon. That's all that matters. But the experience of actually going up there, it does have some disadvantages. I was quite tempted to have a pitch while camp sleep tonight beside that pool I just showed you, but coming down here the surrounding area is actually very boggy and wet and completely sodden. It's got nice views and it's a good outlook. but I'm not sure. So there's a few options, and I've got another hour maybe of sort of reasonably comfortable walking, so I'm just assessing where to pitch and wild camp for tonight. Moel Siabod. This is where I'm going to camp and sleep and wake in the morning down there. What a view. So that's towards Snowdon. The night stops and the day starts after another wild camp. I was in bed at about 10:30. I didn't get to sleep very easily. I think that's because I had a snooze around about 9 o'clock, and I did actually go into deep sleep, I think, because I was very tired, which means I didn't get to sleep properly or immediately at about 10:30. But then once I was asleep it was okay, and then I woke at 8:30, just woken up, just surveying these wonderful views. So I'm showing you Siabod after Snowdon. That's the panorama. It's a really good vantage point, this. That's my tent down there, approximately bottom right beside the lake. That hill centre top is Cnicht, behind which you can just make out the blue haze of the coastline. I love this combination of features to look at. That's Moel Siabod, centre top. That's the Lledr Valley down there. That's the Snowdonia range. That's Moel Siabod, centre top. That's the Lledr Valley down there. And those hills are where I'm going today, back down to Dolwyddelan. Another big walk. That's the Snowdonia range, centre top. Nantley Ridge in the distance, centre top. Nanttle, I think that's how you pronounce it. Moel Siabod, centre top. Cnicht, centre top. To the left, that's a hill above Blaenau Festiniog, and down there is the sea. This is a stunning view. Probably one of the best views I've ever seen.